Big Apple, 3 a.m.
Devil May Cry 5 is an action-adventure hack-and-slash video game in the long-running Devil May Cry series, which was developed and published by Capcom. It released on March 8, 2019 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Devil May Cry 5 picks up after the events of Part 4, with Nero taking on a mobile version of Dante's Devil May Cry demon hunting business. Both Dante and Nero are recruited by the dark and ominous newcomer, V, to take on the latest and greatest threat, the almighty Urizen, whom has already taken out Nero in the past and claimed his demonic arm, the Devil Bringer. By absorbing the demonic powers of the Devil Bringer, Urizen becomes powerful enough to completely obliterate the entire Devil May Cry crew without so much as getting out of his seat. He also summons the demonic Qlipoth tree to absorb the blood of humans and empower himself even more. Now, Dante and the gang must find a way to stop this new threat and restore the balance of power in the underworld, all the while trying to figure out just who exactly V really is and what his true intentions are. You play as Nero, Dante, and the mysterious V as you take on mission after mission, switching between the three as you extinguish the demonic forces that have made their way to Redgrave City. Each character has their own distinct playstyle and moveset, along with their different weapons of choice. Nero's main weapon, the Red Queen sword, allows him to rev it up like a motorcycle, adding fire into his attacks and giving an extra oomph compared to their normal iterations. His Blue Rolls fires out powerful shots, which is best described as a cross between Dante's Ebony and Ivory handguns and his Coyote shotgun in terms of speed and power. As a character, Nero is all about perfect timing to get the most out of him. Revving up the Red Queen at the right time will give you max power for the next attack. What makes Nero special compared to the other two is his Devil Breaker arms. Due to the loss of his right arm, his mechanic and all-around loudmouth friend Nico crafted robotic arms to use in battle, each with their own specialty. From firing rocket arms to harass enemies with punchline, to Rawhide's Castlevania-esque whip attacks, which is perfect for multiple enemies, familiarizing yourself with Nero's Devil Breaker arms is crucial. You're able to break away each arm if you're in a pinch to blow up your enemies, but getting too trigger happy with this attack is costly, as you're limited by the amount of Devil Breakers left in your inventory. Also returning from Devil May Cry 4 is Nero's ability to yank enemies to him, making for some sweet extended combos. My biggest issue with the Devil Breaker mechanic is that you're unable to switch between the arms you have equipped. The only way to switch between your inventory is to use them up with the breakaway technique, which of course limits the amount of times you're able to switch. I think that this is a lost opportunity to add more style and variety in Nero's combos, and adds a bit of resource management, as being armless can put you in a bind. With the help of his strange and mysterious demonic powers, V controls three powerful familiars: the wisecracking hawk, Griffin, the quiet but deadly panther, Shadow, and the powerhouse behemoth, Nightmare. V doesn't attack his enemies directly. Instead, he hangs back steering clear from danger while his entities do the heavy lifting. Griffin uses long-range, lightning-based attacks to keep enemies at bay, while Shadow gets in close for quick and lethal damage. V's most powerful helper, Nightmare, makes use of the Devil Trigger gauge, but boy is it worth it. Nightmare comes in and completely wrecks everything on the screen for the little amount of time that he is loose. Last, and definitely not least, the epitome of style and the king of one-liners, the aging Dante, makes a return, and fortunately, his age didn't slow him down one bit. He still has his trusty sword, the Rebellion, and his Balrog gauntlets, allowing for fast hand-to-hand combat, as well as the Ebony and Ivory handguns and the Coyote shotgun rounding out his arsenal. New to the series is the Cavalier, literally a motorcycle split in two, which Dante uses for wide-reaching, multi-hitting attacks that is great for crowd control. These are just a few of Dante's weapons which you can switch out on the fly, allowing for creative and diverse ways to style on your enemies. Speaking of, Dante can change between 4 distinct styles: Trickster, Royal Guard, Gunslinger, and Swordmaster to further expand his assortment of playstyles. Trickster is the most elusive style, granting him teleportation and both ground and air dashes to name a few. Royal Guard is your defensive style, allowing you to parry enemy attacks and make them pay if you're able to time their attack just right. Gunslinger dials up your gun proficiency to 11, allowing you to charge your handguns for more power, and nunchuck your shotgun to shoot multiple blasts all around you. Finally, the most commonly used style, the Swordmaster, expands on the already vast moveset of your main weapons. Needless to say, Dante has a style and weapon to suit anybody's preferred playstyle. New to the Devil May Cry series is a co-op multiplayer component, kind of. While tackling a mission, other players who are undertaking the same level may show up in your game and give you a helping hand. You're able to rate each player as stylish should they contribute in a meaningful way, granting the player a yellow orb that revives them once they lose all their health. Unfortunately, this multiplayer aspect was mostly underwhelming. Only a few times I actually went to battle with allies, while the majority of times I was asked to rate a player even though I never came in contact with or even saw them in my world. This could have been a big opportunity to take the Devil May Cry franchise to the next level, and I hope that the upcoming Bloody Palace DLC adds a more streamlined multiplayer experience. Devil May Cry 5 is a strikingly beautiful and expressive game. The character's facial animation in the cutscenes is some of the best I've seen this generation, and it really brings the characters to life. Nero's pompous attitude is portrayed perfectly in his face, while V's half-smirk really shows how smug he can be. The RE engine nails it, even down to how age has started to take its toll on Dante's face. Outside of the cutscenes, the character models all look great and have an incredible amount of detail. Dante's leather jacket, Nero's robotic arms, and V's shadowy effects look amazingly well, along with the background and all of the attacks and visual effects. As great as the game looks, performance is king, and there are no issues in that department. Devil May Cry 5 runs at a steady 60 frames per second, even on the base form PS4, which is a technical feat to say the least. It wouldn't be a Devil May Cry game without constant zingers being thrown at your enemies by Dante and the crew, and this one is no exception. The witticism in Devil May Cry 5 has been taken to another level, as every cutscene is riddled with quips. Luckily, the voice acting for the entire cast is spot on, so it doesn't feel forced or become exhausting.
Cool trick! Hey, do you do parties?
They all come off as assholes, but funny assholes.
It already smells like ass.
That's you!
As always, Devil May Cry 5 has an awesome and energetic soundtrack, which changes depending on how well you're doing in battle. Having the guitars blaring and the drums thundering along with you as you rack up long satisfying combos feels incredibly rewarding and adds to the feeling of what the Devil May Cry series is all about. Dante and the DMC crew have been gone for far too long, but luckily for fans, they haven't missed a beat. The simple to understand, difficult to master combat system is in full effect with 3 different playable characters this time around. Although the pacing is a little off in the beginning due to the constant switching of characters between missions and the multiplayer component that is practically non-existent for the most part, Devil May Cry 5 manages to shine bright with its brilliant gameplay and an engaging story. With tons of collectibles and secret missions, as well as the Bloody Palace mode coming in April in the form of free DLC, this Demon Hunter will keep you busy for quite some time. Add in a few surprises, mixed in with a great soundtrack and strong performances by the cast, and you have yourself a captivating and well-rounded package. A fitting return to the beloved franchise. I give Devil May Cry 5 a B. From all of us here at Rotten Apple Gaming, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you liked our video. Subscribe and click on the notification bell to stay updated on our following videos.